So if you're anything like me, you are always on the hunt for that perfect lens. That one lens that you can throw on your camera before you head out for a day of shooting that will give you the freedom and versatility to shoot whatever you want, whether it's product, portraits, landscapes, whatever you want a lens that will cover all those bases with a great focal length and super fast aperture. And you want it at a price that doesn't break the bank. And that is the key here, because while Sony and Canon make really great mid-level zoom lenses with good apertures, they don't come for a good price and they really hurt the wallet. But I've recently picked up the Tamron 17 to 28, and I gotta say, it might be my absolute favorite sub $1,000 lens that is pretty much gonna live on my camera for the foreseeable future. Let's talk all about it. What's going on, everybody? My name's Kawecki and welcome back to another video. If this is your first time here, hey, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome. I do cool videos like this each and every week, all about photo stuff, video stuff, tutorials, and all that awesome content creation stuff on the internet. So if you like what you see, make sure you click that follow button down below, this bell, the subscribe, all that good stuff, because I post a new video each and every week. Now, on to the main event. The Tamron 17 to 28 f2.8 is, at this point in time, the lens that's going to live on my camera. And we're going to talk about why that is and why I love it so much. But before we do, just to give you sort of an idea of what I was shooting with beforehand that brought me to this and why I love it so much. So before this, I pretty much just had a stable of prime lenses that I would swap through. I would have the Sony 16mm for talking head stuff like this. I'd have the Sigma 30mm for more portrait stuff. And then like a third lens I'd swap out every now and again. I had the kit lens, I had a zoom, but I never really had something that was fast, that covered all the bases I wanted it to, until I found this. We're gonna break this review down into three sort of sections so you can understand why I love this lens so much. First is gonna be the versatility, to understand why it is that this is, in my opinion, the best lens that would live on, I think, like 85% of people's cameras who create online content. Then we're gonna go into quality, and then we're gonna finish up with price. So let's start with the versatility. 17 to 28 on a full frame camera, which this is not. I shoot on the a6400, this is an APS-C, is a great focal length. It's wide enough where I'm about arm's distance away from the camera right now, right? But now I can also zoom out a little bit and zoom in a little bit as well. So it gives you versatility there, right? So it's great for vlogging, it's great for talking head stuff, right? But because it's on an APS-C camera, it's not a true 17 to 28. It's actually and because of that, it gives you even more options, because yeah, it's still great for vlogging, but that versatility on the zoomed end is great because 2.8 is just shallow enough to do some portraits. You're not in 50mm or 85mm territory, but it's great. So for example, on the low end at 17mm, you could shoot awesome landscape stuff like this. Then as we get in, you could even shoot some portrait stuff, something like this. I shot this recently of my fiance. And you could also even shoot product photography. I did this cool flat lay, all with this lens. The versatility that this lens gives you is knockout. I can conceivably go on a trip, go to the city, maybe even go traveling, and just throw this and maybe one of my Sigma Prime lenses in my bag and be good because of how versatile this lens is. Now, on the zoom lens, I know Tamron does also make a 28 to 75 or 50. I know there's like a middle Tamron, and then they also make a 28 to 200, but that's not fixed aperture. I think that's like your normal aperture range. But I know the next one in the middle here is also a 2.8, right? So on the zoomed end, it doesn't give you as zoomed as you might think. Maybe you'd want something a little bit more zoomed for B-roll or something like that if you're doing like really zoomed in macro photography. But even this on macro photography has a really great minimum focusing distance, because on the zoomed end, you can get about, let me see here, I'll put it that close to your subject and take a photo like this. So this lens is a great jack of all trades. I am super duper enamored with it, and I love the amount of usability it gives you. And so that's the versatility component right there. But what really sort of backs that up, because this lens is not cheap, but it's also not like expensive by compare of what else you would get in this focal length, is the quality. This build quality of this lens is outstanding. I was actually surprised how hefty it was when I felt it in my hand. Couple that with the fact that it's got a 67mm filter thread. All Tamron lenses, I then learned, have a 67mm filter thread. Works with all their filters. Works with that new Polar Pro filter that I got the notification is on its way, so video coming on that soon. But it's super well built. It is all plastic, but you know what? I'm super careful with my cameras. I know a lot of people are pretty super careful with their cameras, especially with the amount of money people put into this sort of hobby, profession, lifestyle. For that, really well built, seems really durable, great filter thread, really well done quality. The one thing I'll say though, that I didn't expect, it isn't a knock, it's just different, is that the focus ring and the zoom ring are actually switched. Usually on most lenses, the zoom ring is the one that's closer to you and the focus ring is farther down, farther away from you on the lens. The zoom ring is farther away here and the focus ring is closer. So that's cool, I guess. See, we're here, we're out, we're here, we're zooming. Pretty cool. And now let's talk about price. Because here's where I think this is the absolute knockout portion of why this lens is great. This lens right now goes for, on Amazon, $899, which is a lot of money. But if we look at the Sony 16-35 2.8, which is roughly the same focal distance, $2,198. Need I say more? Right there should be enough of a reason alone that you are getting a amazing product at more than half the price, and it's just not Sony, it's not a G Master. Cool, I guess. But at the same time, if you're someone who's just starting out in content creation, maybe you want to stretch your budget a little bit and invest in a lens like this that'll cover a lot of bases. For under $1,000, and I'm sure there's Black Friday sales, B&H has sales, Amazon has sales, Prime Day just passed. For something like this, you could always check eBay as well. This is one of the best investments you could ever put into your camera kit. Something that will cover all your bases, more or less, with a super fast aperture, super crisp, super clean. I saw no sort of fading in the edges or anything like that. I love this lens. I love Tamron lens. I really thought I loved the Sigma lenses when I bought the Sigma lenses for the Sony E-mount, but I really love the Tamron lens. And that's it. Short, sweet, about all the reasons why I love this Tamron lens. And hey, if you want to pick up one of these, the link for you to do so is down below. It's an affiliate link. You don't get charged any extra, but hey, you help the channel and you help me buy more lenses to talk to you guys about as well. So if you're into that, link down below. But until next time, let me know. Are you guys a fan of zoom lenses or prime lenses? You know, everybody's sort of in the different camps. Either way, I'd love to know what you think. And until next time, take care of yourselves. We'll talk again real soon.